The essence of Christ consciousness can be described as a state of being, in which one has a heightened awareness of their true nature and their interconnectedness with all of creation. Since time immemorial, this has been the goal of many spiritual seekers. Christ consciousness is known as a profound and mystical expression of divine love. It is the oneness of all things through the divine. The divine is all-loving, all-knowing, all-encompassing. This powerful force of love is not limited to Christianity and has been felt by people worldwide regardless of their spiritual background. Essentially, despite the varied names, Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, and oneness all signify the same state. Oneness in itself is a state that may seem abstract or challenging to understand unless directly experienced. Jesus was a representative of Christ consciousness. At the heart of his message was the idea of guiding people to attain wholeness by integrating their masculine and feminine aspects into a unified whole. Through this integration, people could achieve spiritual sovereignty. The current state of the world is characterized by a fundamental opposition between masculine and feminine energies. This internal conflict is mirrored externally in the dissonance we observe in our surroundings. The equilibrium between these energies is disrupted, leading to an imbalance and clash, with one energy overpowering and suppressing the other. As a result, there exists discord between these opposing forces. The expression of this friction occurs within oneself, where one aspect of the self dominates or is dominated by another. Our being comprises various aspects that collectively form our sense of self. When these aspects are in opposition, it leads to internal conflict. This conflict can manifest as the dominance of logic over intuition, or the mental body being prioritized over the emotional body. The essence of the integration process lies in healing the trauma arising from the division between masculine and feminine energies. This division sustains separation consciousness and is responsible for the formation of the ego as we know it. The integration of the opposite energies is crucial because it gives rise to genuine consciousness. Essentially, the lessons inherent to this dimension all center around achieving sovereignty, a process that involves harmonizing our masculine and feminine hemispheres. This fusion encompasses our ability to reason, make independent judgments, resist groupthink, avoiding conformity, and filter information through our own intellect. It also means establishing boundaries and protecting ourselves, utilizing the intuitive capacities of the heart, such as creativity, compassion, receptivity, nurture, intimacy, and intuition. When we successfully balance these energies, we activate consciousness, an ability to think, feel, and act from a place of wholeness. This, in turn, grants us the authentic freedom to make genuine choices. Prior to attaining consciousness, choices are made from a default or karmic standpoint, limiting our access to the full spectrum of our being. In this state, our actions are reactive and automatic, lacking conscious choice. The core of Jesus' teachings revolves around attaining undivided consciousness, transmitted from the state known as oneness. Essentially, Jesus taught how to ascend from a lower state of consciousness into a state of unity consciousness. However, many people today view Jesus as a savior, which is not what he intended. Christ consciousness is a mystical term that refers to a spiritually evolved state of being. When we observe the life and message of Jesus Christ, we can see the qualities of love, devotion, courage, and surrender at the center of his teachings and example. The term Christ consciousness, therefore, refers to the embodiment of these qualities in our lives. It is the understanding, or rather knowing, that everything that exists is one consciousness that manifests itself in a different form of matter. It represents the union of opposites, or the sacred marriage between the heart and mind, male and female, light and dark, and essentially all duality. The sacred marriage is a metaphor for the merging of the inner polarities, part of the process of Kundalini awakening. This inner oneness also leads to a reunion with God. Christ consciousness is, therefore, an expression for spiritual integration, of learning to not only use the heart, but also the mind, to embrace your flawed humanity and luminous divinity, and of course, to recognize God as both an immanent and transcendent force. Christ consciousness speaks about the awakening of the heart, the sacred union of spirit and flesh, inner and outer, chaos and order. It's very non-dualistic and unifying. Spiritual evolution is essentially about mastering distinctions and division, embracing a path that involves not only integrating our masculine and feminine energies, but also cultivating compassion, avoiding judgments, and recognizing the value of diverse perspectives. Integration, therefore, emerges as our overarching life goal, a continuous process of uniting fragmented aspects into a cohesive whole. When we fail to achieve integration, we find ourselves caught in the cycle of reincarnation, a continuous loop of returning to this crucial point. Recognizing this underlines the urgency of the integration journey, not just as a life goal, but as a means of breaking free from the repetitive nature of rebirth. The concept of oneness and integration extends beyond Christ consciousness and finds resonance in alchemy as well, particularly in the profound symbolism of the sacred marriage, a union of opposites. In alchemical traditions, this union represents a pivotal point, mirroring the quest for harmony and synthesis present in the teachings of Christ consciousness. Both paths highlight the transformative power of integrating opposing elements, guiding us toward a state of wholeness. The cosmos itself operates on the equilibrium of opposites, a coordinated interplay. Forces like chaos and order, sun and moon, light and shadow, fire and water, don't exist in isolation, but engage in a dynamic relationship. They perpetually seek the embrace of their complementary counterparts. This cosmic interplay, known as the union of opposites, echoes within the human psyche. It acts as a microcosm reflecting the macrocosm, embodying the principle of, as above, so below, as within, so without. In alchemy, the concept of the sacred marriage represents the union of opposites. These seemingly distinct elements symbolize the necessity for a synergistic fusion. Only through this alchemical union can one attain the authentic philosopher's stone, a symbol of wholeness. Among the archetypes within the realm of alchemy, none holds greater significance than sun and moon, representing the masculine and feminine principles inherent in every human being, irrespective of gender. Sun embodies the active, rational, outward-oriented qualities, striving for clarity, objectivity, and accomplishment. It manifests as the warrior, the explorer, and the builder. On the contrary, moon embodies the receptive, intuitive, inward-oriented aspects of the psyche, fostering connection, emotional depth, and creative expression. Moon is symbolized as the nurturer, the artist, and the mystic. Together, sun and moon represent the dynamic interplay of masculine and feminine energies within the alchemical and psychological realms. The key to wholeness lies in integrating these seemingly oppositional forces. When the solar and lunar aspects remain unbalanced within us, it gives rise to fragmentation, projection, and internal conflict. This imbalance may manifest as excessive intellectualization and emotional detachment, or conversely, being overwhelmed by emotional turbulence and lacking direction. Carl Gustav Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, drew inspiration from ancient alchemical traditions, finding in their symbolic language a profound metaphor for the inner journey of self-discovery. According to Jung's perspective on true individuation, achieving psychological wholeness necessitates recognizing both the sun and the moon within ourselves. It involves acknowledging our shadow selves and actively working towards unifying the masculine and feminine aspects of our personalities, the human and divine, conscious, and unconscious. This integration is a pivotal step towards achieving a harmonious and balanced inner state. Alchemy was beyond the literal transmutation of base metals into gold. It aimed at a more profound goal: the spiritual transformation of the human soul. The experience of inner alchemy can change our perspective on how we relate to life and everything in our reality. It teaches us to take responsibility for our world, with the profound realization that we are the origin of every thought, word, and feeling that shapes our reality. This experience brings immense joy in recognizing our role as creators. Confronting our own shadow can be a challenging period marked by despair and confusion. However, it is within this process, embracing repressed emotions and challenging limiting beliefs, that the path to a harmonious union transcending mere duality begins. Reaching a state of full consciousness signifies the resolution of inner conflicts, leading to a sense of wholeness. In this state, we authentically become ourselves, seamlessly integrating our various aspects and inner divisions. We begin by balancing the female and male aspects within ourselves, and then proceed to work with this union in every new relationship we enter, whether it is a personal relationship or connecting with others in social and work groups. Finding wholeness in ourselves and using this to find wholeness in the world is the best starting point for creating an alchemical partnership. The key lies in cultivating a flexible psyche, allowing the organic flow of these archetypal energies without suppressing or overindulging either. Our existence unfolds within a dual dimension, where divisions pervade every aspect. To progress, it becomes imperative to unlearn the habit of division that permeates our perception. Contrary to acquiring novel knowledge, our true task is to shed the layers of separation and return to our origin, our home. This internal unlearning is key. It is not about grasping new concepts, but rather about unraveling the conditioned divisions that obstruct our innate unity. In this context, we recognize that, deep within, we already possess a profound understanding, having traversed this path in previous experiences. Acknowledging the diversity of paths is crucial. Each individual's journey is unique, shaped by distinct experiences and lessons. To foster a harmonious environment, we must cultivate an understanding that refrains from passing judgment or imposing predetermined frameworks on others. Instead, the power lies in mutual inspiration, where diverse paths intersect, enriching our collective journey toward integration and self-discovery. Finding the real balancing points of all dualities will lead us onto a world of peace, of wholeness, and love. You can begin on this new world today by working on the world around you, the things that are creating and maintaining your own local environment and your own inner self. By creating a world of peace within yourself and letting it flow out to others around you, you are changing the world and changing society. This is where it starts. Now.